baby! Let's go! It's time! Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise and up. In the jungle, we unite and up. Trippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move tossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, finger bottle, never stop it, till the beast and on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring, Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night, stripes in our...
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. It's a Victory Tuesday. We got on the board 1 and 2, boys. What's up?
What's up?
Got Ocho Chop in the house.
Hey, check this out.
Yeah, he's got Jesus Burr.
My savior. Joe Burr.
Uses magic powers to be able to heal and play last night.
I'm taking the grills out.
All right.
What's up, Greg?
Nothing much, man. I was just looking around the house for something that I lost. No big, but you know, it'll turn up.
Yeah. Was it your Victory Monday shirt?
No. It was my Cincy hat. I think I left at the house. So you know, it is what it is.
What house? The rental house?
I have a feeling I left my Cincy hat at the house I rented last weekend with Santori and them. So whatever.
Good news, Greg. Cincy Hat's going to be selling that camo one tonight at 7. Is it tonight at 7 they're releasing it?
Yeah.
So
I know.
I'll be in report.
Yeah, just aggravated. But no, other than that, though, man, well, I'm all good.
Yeah, you are all
Bengals
good.
won.
Exactly, right?
Right, they did.
So I got to start by asking you guys, as I pop up some comments here, who did everybody in the chat. How was the vibes, boys?
Electrifying.
Yeah. Hey, the jungle came alive, man. As much as people were saying, and I agree that the last game, the first time we were there, were kind of like it was flat, like nobody was getting up and screaming and yelling. Fuck that. Went out the window, man. Last night, the jungle was loud as shit.
Although the guy next to me picked up where he left off from last week, but you know what? I did what I could to let it go.
You get him all year, Greg. Sounds like if he's there for the first 2 games.
Oh yeah, I'm stuck with him all year, so
yeah,
it is what it is.
Sounds a real joyous guy.
Every once in a while, people around us don't show up. If so, I'll text you and you can move down by me and John.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Bring us a piece of ass.
Yeah.
Hey.
So,
I did notice, though, last night, just in case people wondered about making that Sky Natto, and they're worried about Donato's cutting those pieces real small, the pizza that they serve at Paycor is a big slice. So it'll wrap just right around the coney so you can go down there and get the Sky Natto.
There you go.
That's important to know. I paid attention to shit like that.
You gotta let people
are
know.
like, it's not the same as the Sky Rosa because you can't wrap it around because Donato's cuts their pizza in them small strips. Not at Paycor, man. They planned on this shit. It's a big slice. You can wrap it right around the fucking coney and eat it.
So Big Dick Joe Burrow flopped out his big old wiener and said, I'm playing. Jamar didn't want him to play again, but I think everyone else, including all of us, was really hoping he'd play because obviously we did not want to go 0-3. Had to get a win on the board, and we did. It wasn't pretty, but we got it done. Joe ended up being 26 for 49, 259 yards, no touchdown passes, and an interception. But he went out there, and he did the best he could. 259 yards, still more than he had in either of the previous 2 games, so it's a good sign. What was your guys' thoughts on Joe Burrow? There was a lot of passes I feel like he just threw away. He wasn't trying to take too many hits. The line only gave up 2 sacks overall. Obviously, it's still rough, but we got the win, and at the end of the day, that's a good sign. And he didn't re-injure it as far as we know and make it any worse.
Second half, he just came alive. I mean, first half, obviously, it was shaky. But second half, he was definitely coming alive. I mean, I think the one play, one big defined play is when he did a fake toss to Mixon, and then he rolled out, and he got chased down the field. I'm like, holy crap, this is the
Chase Brown. They did a fake toss to Chase Brown on that. The balls to bring Chase Brown in, who'd hardly played and run the toss. I like that.
Yeah, so Joe was cooking. I mean, I know he threw the interception, but I think, Dale, you were saying even though it was an interception, it was a good play by the defender.
No, the interception. Yeah, I'm not knocking Joe on that interception. I was just reading his stat line. That was an unbelievable. That guy I thought Boyd caught it until they said interception. I'm watching on my TV, That guy just got one hand in and picked it off, ripped it away out of Boyd's hands with his one hand.
It was like one of those things you can watch. You should watch in slow motion. You know what I mean? As they roll around and it goes right into Boyd's breadbasket, and the guy just real slow, just whoop, grabs it. It was
his momentum too. The way the guy was diving and got that arm in there, his momentum just kind of carried it through to get the ball out. Kudos to Witherspoon for making that play. That was one of the best interceptions I've ever seen. Honestly.
He went Neo level, Matrix level on that interception. That was a good interception. My thoughts on Joe was, and we were discussing this a little bit before the show started, me and Dale, when Greg was fucking around and not on the pre-show, but I thought that he was still inaccurate down the field, but I'm not worried about it because when he threw the ball down the field, he's a little inaccurate. I thought it wasn't usually what he does. He's right on point, but I think that he didn't practice. Right? I mean, he didn't go full go practice because he's nursing that calf. I think this week he's going to be practicing more, and it's going to get fixed. I have no doubt in my mind.
No, absolutely. Like I said, even if we get Joe Burrow at 70%, I think Santori said something if you get him 70%, that's all you need right now. I mean, and the good news is no setback for an injury, nothing bad. There was one play where Joe was on the ground. I'm like, oh my God. He literally was face down on the ground. I was scared to death, and he got back up. I mean, Joe, that dude just got balls of steel.
Well, he got back up.
He also had a rollout.
Yeah.
When he got back up, he looked up at the stands at me. He went, JK, because he knew he was just fucking with us. He was like, JK.
Right.
Fine.
But he had that rollout, and he kind of threw the ball to Boyd, and that one could almost been picked off. He's just trying to get rid of it real quick. And he kind of looked like he hobbled a little bit coming off the field on that one. It was grimacing. But he said, it's gonna be a problem. That's why I don't think it's magically going to be healed by Sunday's game either. He's going to have to battle through and fight through. He actually started off 9 for 12. So he started off good, but they were all nothing over 10 yards on those first several passes. They got moving the ball a little bit downfield. The one before half to Tanner Hudson, which, hey, I thought he looked good. I hope he stays up. I don't care if Irv comes back. I think those guys should split some reps. I'm not saying to even bench Drew Sample. We saw Shifty Sample out there making that play on third down to make it 4th and 1, and then Mixon converted. So Shifty Sample with the big play.
Absolutely. I just realized something. I know where my Cincy hat is. My Cincy hat is in the possession of somebody else where I have something in the making to be put on the side, and I won't say anything else.
Gotcha.
How the hell did you forget that?
I don't know, man. I forgot.
Did you work today? Did you work today?
Dude, I was so tired at work today. It was unbelievable. I was so tired. You used
the weed killer again, didn't you?
No. I had no weed killer, no nothing, man. I was so tired at work. I was excited. Then I got tired throughout the day because I couldn't get to bed at 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm so excited. I'm like, why the hell did I go to work today?
They got Greg in the car now. They pushed him out of the lot. He can't do his little thing at the dumpster anymore because he's a terrorist. So
right.
They put him in the bathroom. And then I noticed this morning you're in the damn car.
I didn't want to scream at my lungs out where people thinking there's a psycho around here. You screaming. I mean, I scream like hell.
They didn't want to call attention to the fact that he's a psycho.
Right, exactly. I don't want to cause no attention, no harm to anybody. I love everybody. I don't want anybody to think.
Instead,
I got accused of. I don't know if I was accused of being a flasher or what that day when I was opening up my shirt. I don't know what the hell people thought I was doing, but whatever.
Instead, they reported a guy that was sitting in his car yelling and screaming.
Yep, pretty much.
Top of his lungs. Yeah.
Now, speaking of Joe's, Mixon, he only had 3.4 yards per carry, 19 for 65, only one catch for 5 yards. Did have the touchdown, I think it was a 14-yard run. But he ran hard, like I was saying. After Sample got 9 yards on that one play, and they went for it on 4th and 1. I mean, if he don't, make a second effort there, we don't get that first down, and it's their ball with really good field position. So, I mean, I thought Mixon ran hard all night, every opportunity he had. Maybe the yards per carry isn't up to what it was when he was getting fewer carries, but, you'll have that. Some of that, too, was grinding out late in the game on that last drive where it was like, hey, we're handing the ball off, and everyone knows it because we're trying to kill some clock up 10.
So thank you for pointing that out, Dale. Yeah, he averaged 3.4 yards, not what we were wanting. But I said if I had to pick a dark horse game ball, I give it to Joe Mixon. I mean, the clock management in the fourth quarter was so huge. getting those first downs when we needed. And like you said, Dale, it took half the Rams team to get him down. I mean, Joe Mixon, man, he may not be putting up the big flashy numbers or anybody, but he is getting the first downs when we need them. He got the touchdown. Joe Mixon, man, so far, in my opinion, you could kind of make an argument he's been the MVP of the offense. I know that's maybe a crazy statement right now, but for clock management wise, like I ever since Jarvis Green Ellis, who was a great clock management running back for us, I mean, Joe Mixon, man, so far, I'm really impressed with him so far this year.
I do think there's a lot left for him in the passing game.
Yes.
Because we saw him really step it up. And one catch for 5 yards, and I don't want those swing passes and this and that seem to go nowhere. And honestly, he could have had another catch and he dropped it. And I'm glad he did because he would have lost about 4 yards on it. It looked like he dropped that one on purpose.
I'm surprised to hear that it was 3.4. You know me, I sleep all the time, and I didn't look at the stats since I got upstairs. I went upstairs checking my wife because she felt work. But I'm surprised because I was watching that game last night, and I'm like, damn, Joe Mixon is running hard, man. He is running like his life depended on it, like someone's after his ass. Like he was tough.
Well,
they weren't hitting him. He was fucking hitting them.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times I always thought Mixon was afraid to run up the middle at times when he got too patient. If you notice Mixon, he's not being patient, waiting. He's just like, look, I'm just coming at you, running straight forward. That's what I wanted out of Joe Mixon, and that's what he's doing, man, fighting for every single inch.
And that was the second game in a row where they pile on him, and the whole pile gets pushed by the O-line like 5 or 10 yards downfield.
Right.
It was awesome to see.
Yeah, he just wasn't going down on first, second, or third. I mean, he was fighting for everything, and like Dustin mentioned, that jump cut on that 4th and 1, he jumped twice and just was refusing to not get that first down. So
he did that quite a few times. Like he wouldn't have anything left, and he's like, "Fuck it," and he just like a battering ram, just dive and get a yard or two. You know, where
that's all you can do sometimes. Yeah. He didn't lose yards. He was making sure even when there was nothing there, and he was back in the backfield. That's why some of his stats, on his 3.4 yards per carry. But there was times where he was caught in the backfield for 5 yards and had to get back to the line of scrimmage or gain just 1 yard or half a yard. He worked his ass off doing those things. So the numbers might not show, but I'm with Greg, man. He gets a game ball from us too. Let's give him one.
Yeah. Speaking of which, can we go around the horn to do game ball? Well, no, Dale, you probably have a show schedule. So
I've got tons of stuff to talk about here, Greg, and we will get to that, but I'll go ahead and read off some more stats, and then we'll give our offensive, and then I'll do some defensive.
Hey, as long as we're talking about Joe Mixon, though, I have a question because they were saying it at the stadium last night. This after Joe Mixon, he jumped up in the stands, and they said he did a jungle jump.
Yeah,
I swear to God, that is the first time I've ever heard that term, jungle
Me too.
jump. Is that new?
Too.
I haven't heard it called that either, but I heard Horde say that. I was listening to their show this morning a little bit on my way to work.
Well, since he didn't make it all the way in the stands and the fans had to pull him up, I said it looked more like a Paycor pull-up.
Right.
Than a jump.
That works too.
He's a Paycor pull-up.
It sounds like an Urban Dictionary term.
Yeah. Paycor pull-up. What is that?
Uh-oh. Sounds like an old woman with a diaper. Uh-oh.
But yeah, Jamar Chase, man, 12 catches. 13 is the record Carl Pickens has. He was one off from that. 141 yards. Boyd, 5 catches, 39 yards, so not big yardage, but, they got him going with a couple on the first drive and then a couple tough ones. Then he should have had the one that was just a great interception we already talked about. Hudson had 2 catches, 30 yards. How many times do we sit here and do the over-under for yardage and say, man, just give me a tight end that can get 30?
Right.
Yeah, dude, I said all 3 tight ends put together and all that, and I think they passed.
Sample just had the 1 catch, and then Wilcox had 1 or 2.
Right. I'm surprised it was only 2 catches because he looked good. I would have, if you would have asked me how many catches he had last night, I probably said 3 to 5.
Right.
Closer to 5.
I think if he played more, I think he would get you 3 to 5 consistently. I'm hoping that even if you got to stick with 4 tight ends, I'd cut Carmen's ass and stick with 4 tight ends. It wouldn't bother me a bit.
Right.
Is something wrong with Carmen? Because I saw him on the side. I came home and watched the game.
He's a healthy inactive.
Okay. Because he was on the sideline. I saw him standing there but he was in his regular street gear.
Yeah. And then Higgins had 2 catches, 21 yards, 8 targets, multiple drops. Not a good game for T. I mean, he had the great game last week. He had 0 catches the first week on 8 targets, only 2 on 8 targets this week. Man, those drops are just, I think, I don't know. Concentration drops. Yeah. You can't have them. And I don't think we've ever had a problem with T. So I think it'll be fine. But it was just out of character, and I told the roommate at one point. I said, damn it, he's hanging out with Ocha at too much damn McDonald's, and that's why I had to go in the locker room and get an IV that one time too because he was having cramps. Damn Ocho Cinco in town for the Ring of Honor.
Yep,
he's
got greasy hands. Fry grease on his hands.
But they would have, as people in the chat have mentioned, a couple people, those would have both been first downs and big plays. That one was late in the game too. That second one that he had, just out of character. And I'm not going to pile on T because we know how great he is. But kind of like Jamar couldn't get it going last week, it just wasn't T's day.
Right.
If we can get both those guys going at the same time, even with the hobbled Joe Burrow, that's going to be
well. You can imagine if you take what Jamar did, and then you take every pass that T was thrown, he catches it. Come on, man, we're over 30 points, and that's what I think is that our offense, the standard should be 30 points. Like they should not score under 30 points. We should be putting up 30 every single game.
Even with the hobble Burrow, because he's just that good. Like, and you got too many weapons that you still can't escape. Like we saw the guys be more creative, and especially with Chase, who ended up with the 12 catches, moving him around, motioning him, putting him in the backfield, motioning him back out. These are the things you have to do. You have to put him in the slot, let him run routes over the middle. You got the scheme for him, and he can do this every freaking game. He is that electric and that good that there's no excuse.
Look what happens when he does play the slot, man. He balls out in the slot. You give him space down the field. That's what we needed out of him. Instead of like these vertical routes, be more creative. And Higgins, that one catch Higgins did have where he put down by the middle, do more of that. No more of this. Don't keep going vertical all the time.
This is what I've always said is that I always thought that we could use Jamar Chase the same way that San Francisco uses Debo.
Not a bad idea.
I think it's the same guy. It's like the same mold. He could be used the same way.
Well, and the way the Rams have used Kupp and now Puka that they try to move, which I thought we played great on him, but we'll get to that. And then obviously Drew Sample once again. It was one catch. It was 7 yards is what it officially was. But man, what an electric play. What a big time. Yeah. Man, did you see that? Bam! Woo! Drew Sample out here shaking people, boys. Just electric, right?
Right. I'm surprised we have any other tight ends besides him. They should have just left it on him.
Even though he had no catches, my boy Yosibach, like Santori's like, Greg, but like I will see James or Santori say, Yosibach is in. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Oh, man, I know. I seen it too. And I looked over at I said, man, Greg will come his pants if he will come all over that stadium if he gets
my phone's going to go off like crazy if that.
The play that he was in there, Greg, I didn't even see that catch because I was watching him run that go route and I thought they were going to throw it to him.
Right.
And then I thought I was going to have to go perform CPR.
Dude, I would have gone AWOL if.
Yeah, I was.
You would have made a jumbotron for sure.
Oh, easily.
So, and then our offensive line. I mean, I will go ahead and point out why we're still on the offense. Cordell Volson has to play better.
Yes,
it's not getting. You can say Aaron Donald, but guess what? Jeffrey Simmons. Do we remember Jeffrey Simmons a couple years ago in the playoff game against Tennessee? He fucking wrecked that entire game. We don't want Joe getting hit like that.
That's the guy that punched
Teddy
Harris in the throat, right?
Yeah, same guy.
Dale, what did I tell you, though, what Donald's going to be doing, man? He's going to go up the weakest link, and unfortunately, that was Volson, man. So Volson's going to get picked on a lot by a lot of these big-time DTs.
He's got the moves like Jaeger.
That
Sample gets the game ball.
You said Jaeger.
Yeah.
Jagger.
You get the Jaeger and you get the moves like Jagger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You saved it.
When my kids were little, I would tell them that Jagger got his moves from me. I taught him the moves. They believe me too. They might still believe me.
The fucking chicken dance, basically.
Yes.
But Volson has to do better. But overall, only 2 sacks given up. I was overall, once again, this is 3 weeks in a row. It's been 1 sack or 2 sacks at most, and no more than that. So I think overall, what we got up like 5 sacks in 3 games. Yeah, We'll take that. So Orlando Brown's been worth every penny. I know PFF didn't grade him well, but he looked good. Jonah looked good. Most of the guys, I think Kappa had probably. It might just without looking at everything in the grades. I thought Kappa played better. So honestly, there's debate about whether Ted or Volson gave up the sack, but Volson got beat way too many times. in general. So he's got to play better, especially.
Yeah,
this
he's
week.
not taking. We all thought he was going to take a step up playing next to Orlando Brown, and it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it yet. That's the thing. It's still time for it to happen, but it needs to happen soon.
Yep.
Please. I thought that if we're talking about the offensive line, not just Cordell Volson, though, some of those balls that Joe threw, he still had time. That line looked really good last night.
Yes,
I
they
personally thought.
They did.
They did. I mean, and they've looked pretty good all year. Robert's saying to sign LC back and put him at left. See, that was another reason why, I know we didn't really want to get rid of LC because we thought, well, there's right tackle depth and left guard depth. He started out in Dallas as a left guard. So, I mean, yeah, for sure. What's up to Dean?
Yep.
What's up, Dean?
We talked about Hudson a little bit. 2 catches, 30 yards. I thought he looked. He gets open and he makes plays. He did it in preseason. He's done it here. I would love to see him. I mean, you can keep calling him up for like 3 more games total from the practice squad, but he needs to be signed. I'd bring him up. If at worst, I'd be rotating his snaps with Irv Smith that he gets. They get a split. Whoever's performing better, then that person starts getting a little more maybe. But I think Hudson deserves that shot because he just looks good every time he's out there.
Yeah, he definitely he's earning a spot on the 53. So I don't know what's going to happen when Irv comes back, but man, I'd hate to see Hudson go.
No,
yeah, I didn't like when he got cut. I thought somebody was going to snag him up because he just played so well in the preseason. The only game he didn't ball out in was because he had that concussion and didn't play in the second one.
And
the first and the third one, he was dominant.
And I was talking to you before the show too, is that people said Cincinnati, we don't utilize the tight end, but I thought we used the tight end a lot last night.
We
the tight
did.
End was
Up the
involved
middle?
in the game a lot.
Up the middle and a lot. Yes, we did.
Yeah, and there was even other times that they were targeted and just were close plays or last, So they went to him a lot and had good success. And then some, like Hudson slipped on the one earlier. I think that could have been a first down on that one too. So, I mean, I liked it. I liked the game plan overall for Joe. I mean, which helped us get out of there with a win and with Joe not having setbacks, as Greg said earlier. So that's huge.
Yeah.
Dustin's right here. In LSU, Joe Burrow dominated with a 2 tight end set. They just don't use it like that. They haven't used it like that in the NFL yet. Maybe they'll go back to a little bit of that, but you would think if they're going to do that, they would have took a tight end in the draft. I mean, there was only like 20 of them.
So Greg wanted to give game balls. So we'll start on the offense and we'll talk about some of the defensive performances because it's going to be a little harder on the defensive side. So we'll each try to give a game ball and we'll try to give one to somebody different. So Greg, go ahead.
So here's the thing. Well, my game ball, can it be a special teams player for offense or does that not count?
Well, it's offense. It's not special teams.
Okay. So, but offense.
You're trying to figure out how to give one to Yoshi.
I want to give one to McPherson. I want to give one to McPherson is who I want to give one to.
I've got a whole talk after defense. We're going to talk special teams because there's three different things.
But all right, offense. I got to give it. I'm going to still stick with Joe Mixon, man. I mean, I know Chad should be saying Chase. That's an easy, and I know one of you will definitely give it to him. But Joe Mixon, man, like I say, once again for clock management, how he handled the fourth quarter, how he fights, how he's just grinding for every single inch. It's like quoting Any Given Sunday. We claw through our fingernails for that inch, and that's exactly what I think.
Al Pacino, I mean, come on, keep it up. You started with that accent, man.
Oh no, dude! I've rehearsed the speech a lot, man. I one of the if you want me to on the show, I will rehearse the speech.
Well, we might have to hear that sometime.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right, Chop.
I want to give. I'll tell you what. I want to give my offensive game ball to the offensive line.
Yes.
Because Aaron Donald, one of the fucking premier pass rushers in the NFL, strikes fear into offenses across the fucking nation. And they held him to 1 sack, Aaron Donald. So my game ball goes to the offensive line because if it wasn't for that, none of the other game balls would have even been in existence.
Yep.
There you go. And since he definitely deserves one with 12 catches and 141 yards, and you guys didn't give it to him, I'll give Jamar Chase his game balls.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Shout out Jamar Chase. Incredible game.
I'll give him frustrated
balls. I don't think he can be frustrated now. So
no.
And then
hopefully now he's calling Joe and saying, "See, I told you, man. Just throw me the ball. Let's make it happen."
Yep.
And we will get to defense here in a minute, but I don't have this written down. So I will say Jalen Davis played like 3 snaps and got in there and had like a pass breakup on a big play there late in the game. So yeah, shout out Jalen Davis. Special shout out from my buddy Cheeks. All right, moving on to the defense. So we got quite a bit to talk about here. Got to start with my guy, Blackout Trey. 2 sacks, could have been 4, had a couple called back, wrecking the game, getting held every play, as Bengals and Bourbon says. Trey Anderson was absolutely fucking man amongst boys last night. And then when that poor backup had to come in, it was just like time to feast. So luckily he didn't end up with 5 or 6 for the Rams' sake, because the man was just getting pressure from every which direction.
You know what? I've been ripping on. I've been getting on the defense line all last week. I bet you they all had a picture of my face on their locker. All this Hubbard, all of them say, "That son of a bitch, Greg."
You're right.
We're going to show him.
I seen it in the locker room.
Exactly. They probably had a punching bag of me.
This is dark.
No. It was probably the water boy and all that and stuff. They looked at Matthew Stafford as my face and all that and stuff. That's exactly what happened. And then it worked. The defense woke. The defensive line, second highest paid elite, acted like they were a top paid defense. That defense, A+ yesterday. Defensive line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to start with Henderson. Yeah, he only got 2, Chris, is the thing. Like on the stats wise, we ended up with 6 total, which I think he called some of these other ones or helped call some of them. Hubbard, Reeder, and Hill all had a sack, so that's 5. And then the other one was just Dax Hill shooting out of a missile. So Dax ended up with 8 tackles in that sack. I don't know how Stafford held onto the ball. I mean, he obliterated him. So what? Let's stick with. We talked about D-line, so let's stick with Dax Hill there. What was you guys? He didn't, once again, PFF, weird grades, this, that, the other, didn't grade out well. He pulled out. Yeah, 2 tackles for loss, the one on the running back, that sack, and just it seemed like he was all over the place and every bit of the first-round pick.
Yeah, when you're talking about giving out game balls on the defense, Dax Hill, man, he is up for a mention on that one. Trey was undeniable, but after that, man, Dax Hill was badass. He was all over the place, and he had a great sack too.
Do you guys think he's more athletically better than Jesse Bates?
I think they're similar.
Yeah.
I think they're similar. And, man, that was my whole thing was I would love to have 2 athletic freaks like that.
Yeah. The thing
I would
is,
love to see them both play together, honestly.
Let me say this, though. The thing is, though, that Jesse Bates had worked how many years to get to where he was? This is Dax Hill's first year. We haven't hit a ceiling.
To be fair, Bates come in and started as a rookie and was pretty damn good. So
he was.
Was he as good as a rookie as Dax Hill's doing this year?
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty damn good. And he is basically a captain by his 3rd year. So, I mean, maybe Dax is on that trajectory too, but he didn't get to play like that last year, so like Bates did. Because they cut George Iloka that year when they got Bates, and then they went ahead and started Bates. So
Darth.
Yeah, he's not. I agree, Darth. He's not Bates yet, but he's playing pretty damn good.
Athletic wise, is he better than Bates?
They're close. Bates is a very good athlete, so I don't want to say he's better, but I mean it's close / maybe a little bit more like natural speed. Like
I think Jesse's more of a ball hawk, whereas Dax can do everything else. Because you never really Bates, he blitzed every now and then, I guess, didn't he?
Not as much. I feel like they're going to bring Dax more. Dax almost has that little bit of Mike Hilton in him, like you're talking about.
Right.
You've seen it a lot in Michigan. He would blitz off the edge like we like to send Mike Hilton. So I do think he provides that element. And I think you're right. Jesse's probably a little better ball hawk, but Dax isn't bad either. Yeah, I agree. I agree with all that.
My boy DJ Turner looked good last night too, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't play a ton as far as I know, but that one he was step, as Dustin says, with Tutu. And that's not easy to do. That man's like 5'4", fast as a fucking rocket. So DJ Turner also. Those 2 in a race would be fun.
Yeah, it would.
Pretty much what we saw on that.
They did, because that one that he got him was way downfield, so it was a race.
And then you got to mention, which speaking of, I mentioned Mike Hilton coming off the edge. He was coming on this one. He said, I'm not going to get there. He steps back, tips one of the passes that end up being 2 interceptions for Logan Wilson. One of the 2 was tipped by Hilton. So Logan getting 2 interceptions. And that first one, the people on the broadcast was like, "Oh no, he didn't catch that. It hit the ground, it moved." But his hand was under it the whole time, and it seemed like he had control. So 2 like really good, tough interceptions for a linebacker. But that shows like he was a wide receiver in high school. So Logan
Right.
Wilson still has those wide receiver skills. I think that's his 9th interception of his career. So, dude's a ball hawk and balled out. And I'm glad we paid that guy just for
kidding.
last night's performance alone. So, any thoughts on Logan Wilson?
No, Logan Wilson, I mean, no, that was just not 2 interceptions, but 2 game-changing, momentum-changing interceptions. When the Rams are going down that field, I believe we had the field goal, and they were going down that field. I thought they were going to get a touchdown.
They had the long pass to Van Jefferson for 46 yards on the play before.
Yeah, dude, I thought they were getting a touchdown. They were going to walk right past us. I think you could argue there were so many momentum changes. That may have been the biggest next to the McPherson field goal, that was the biggest momentum change, was the interception by my game ball definitely goes to Logan Wilson with those 2 crucial interceptions.
All right, Chop, who are you going with? You going with Dax? You mentioned Dax, or
for my game ball, man, yeah, I want to go with Dax Hill. That's who I was for the defense. I mean,
for defensive game ball.
Yeah, and that's because you took Trey and you talked about Logan Wilson.
Well, I'm taking Trey. I was like, yeah, save me Trey. That's my baby.
Yeah, you go for save you Trey. So I would either go Dax Hill or Logan Wilson, but I really did like the way Dax Hill played, and I think he stepped up. A lot of people were worried about Jesse Bates going to Atlanta. And then, if in our offseason, if you said, what's the position that you're worried about with Cincinnati, everybody was like safety, because we lost both of our safeties. And I thought that our safeties played good last night. So, yeah, I'll give my game ball to Dax Hill, stepped up.
Yeah, and then Trey, I mean, we already said it at the beginning.
And that sack he put on Stafford was nasty.
Oh, yeah.
Dax Hill was nasty.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how he held onto the ball, so.
No.
But, yeah, Trey, unbelievable. Just dominant, so he definitely gets my defensive game ball. And we'll move on to special teams. Got to start with Chuck Sizzle. 2 weeks in a row.
Remember, people were already getting on Sizzle, like, after that first bad punt return. That was a bad decision he made. But, dude, look at it again. I mean, he didn't have the touchdown like he did against Baltimore, but, dude, just stacking up yards, man, running straight down there, just zooming. I think, could you guys argue as of right now, he's a top punt return in the NFL as of right now through 3 games?
This is what I told Dale when you were looking for your hat that isn't lost at all, that it reminded me last night of watching Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Because he's going to make the catch. Now, the only thing is he did call for a fair catch one time. Pac-Man never called fair catch. But he'd get that ball and he'd always make positive yardage out of it. Like, he looked good last night.
And that's what was scary week 1, right? We saw him dancing. It's like, uh-oh, we got Keelan Ratliff here.
Yeah.
Let's get it and go. And last night it seemed like he and the week before, it was get it and go. Got a touchdown last week. This week he had 4 returns, 45 yards. The long one was 19. That was with 8:46 left in the fourth quarter. And I was telling Chop that before we started. So that was the one. He got that punt return. We didn't really move the ball too much on that drive after the punt return, but that's when McPherson kicked the last of his 4 field goals, which we'll talk about, for 54 yards. And what was the final score? 19-16, 3-point game. So if Chuck Sizzle doesn't get that 19-yard return, we may never have a shot at that field goal, and we're going to potential overtime and staring 0-3 in the face. That would have been ugly. So shout out Chuck Sizzle, just looking really good and dynamic, and got to be the best like put the fear in you type returner since Pac-Man that we've had.
And also he had I know we're talking special teams, but he had a great catch in the offense where he did that. Did you see that weird flip he did and then landed for the first down? I thought, man, I was really impressed. I love that catch.
Yeah, that was once again like another nice scheme play by Zach. So I want to give Zach credit and Brian Callahan, who, I'm sure they work hand in hand. So they come out and they were creative. And, no one probably saw Charlie Jones getting an early catch in the first half that they come out on. That was on the first drive. So getting him involved early was nice. We're going to get there.
We're going to get here? Well, this is special teams, right?
Yeah, we're going to get there. So that's actually next up. No, it's next up. So
you want me to put it back?
Yeah, you can put it back. Jolly's saying Robbins had good hang time. Only 1 return off the punt, I think. But he also had one that he shanked out of bounds. Yeah. And from the stats that came out today, he is statistically the worst punter in the NFL right now. I love Brad Robbins. but you got to do better. And it's too inconsistent. He's had too many bad kicks. So right now, Brad Robbins is not looking great. He is a rookie. And as we're going to talk about Evan making 4 field goals, he's obviously done well on the holds. Cal Adamitis has done well with snaps. It's a whole system. But he's got to do better. He ended up with, let's see here, 5 kicks for 211 yards, 42.2 average. That's not a great average. But like I said, he also had the one he shanked off his leg, off his foot. So I don't know how much that one. But he's had 2 or 3 of those that he shanked off the side of his foot. I don't know if it's concentration. I don't know what it is. But I think Joe Goodberry said he thinks he's going to have a pretty long leash, being a draft pick, and the holding's going well. But we got to start seeing a better performance from him, in my opinion. What do you guys think about?
Yes,
I honestly think that he's trending. I think he's trending up. I think that the first 2 games were shit, but I do think that he made some progress last night. And some of those kicks had some hang time. I thought he was the better punter of the 2 that were on the field last night. The guy that was kicking for LA, man, he was shooting those line drives low and fast, like a hang time of 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's just unacceptable.
I think he's trending up. I'm not worried about it yet. Not worried about it yet.
Not yet, but I think Dale, it's kind of like, get it together,
Mm-hmm. You need to get it together soon because you can't have these punts. But it is nice not seeing returns, but it's just, there's times that I feel like there has been opportunities for returns still on his kicks.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, look who it is.
What's up, fellas?
What up?
What up?
Did you have to tune in just so we could watch you walk? Like, you could have waited.
Are you still in lot 1?
Hey, I'm still in lot 1, yeah. I just wanted you guys to actually get to see my beautiful face for once,
Yeah, it'll help with my diet plan.
And to think, I haven't seen Crippen here this whole time. So the guy who really wanted to see you.
I know.
Not even
poor thing. I feel bad for him, man.
I don't know. We've kind of went through our offense and defense, and now we're on special teams, and we're to Money Mac actually. But before we get to him, we're talking about Robbins. Are you concerned?
Concerned? No, not really. I think he is a rookie punter, and I think he's going through some growing pains, and I think eventually he'll get the hang of it. Honestly,
well, hopefully not eventually. Hopefully, like real quick.
Well, I was going to say, I hope it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Well, like that Evans guy, I know it didn't seem like he was punting great last night, but in all those statistics, he's way above him. And then there's another rookie that's kind of mid-level, that Behringer from Michigan State, the stout kid for the Ravens, who I think we wanted last year. He's like top 5, so he's a second-year kid. Stonehouse is one of the best in the league. He's a second or third year undrafted guy. So, I mean, a lot of these young guys are balling out at punter. I'm just saying, there's 32 of these jobs, and I'm not even one that thinks Drew Chrisman would be the answer.
Right.
But since hang time was piss poor all year long before that Chiefs game. Just a fact. Yeah. I said that multiple times last year before that happened in that Chiefs game. I was like, this is a concern.
Yeah.
So I'm not one for bringing Chrisman, but damn, you can't tell me there's not somebody out there on the streets that can't fucking punt the ball more than 40 yards.
Yeah, you need to find somebody that can. I mean, you need the best of both worlds, right? You want somebody with good hang time, but can also boom the ball. And I don't know. I'd be interested to see kind of who's out there that would fit that bill.
Which Dean's going to bring it up, and that is very controversial, and a lot of people don't want to hear it. He still has a civil case. The criminal charges were dropped. There was a lack of evidence. Matt Ariza, who was drafted by the Bills in the 6th round a year ago. I don't know. Like, obviously, you don't want guys that are a distraction and this and that. While he still has a civil case going on, I don't think you could even consider bringing him in.
No.
And if you any party who believes that some of the allegations against him are true, you can't bring him in.
No. Right? Yeah. No.
I mean, the guy can kick the hell out of a football, but if he's a piece of shit as a human being, we don't want him in this locker room. That's not the culture Zach built. But you do have to mention the name because he is technically out there as a free agent. But there's got to be some other guys, even that's played in the NFL or fresh out of college, because there's only 32 of these damn jobs.
Right.
Yep,
Hey,
and every college out there has a punter. So
here's an idea: don't punt. Don't put us in punt situations. Let's just keep the punter off the field, and then we don't have to worry about it at all.
Well, I seen something that made a lot of sense to me too. I can't remember exactly who said it, so I'm sorry I can't give them credit off the top of my head. But they were talking about how when we drafted Robbins, we're thinking we're moving this ball up and down the field. We want a guy for hang time and pinning people down in the 20 with this elite defense. Yeah. We didn't expect Joe Burrow to be out here basically on one leg, having to play and the offense not moving this ball this well. So we drafted a punter that we didn't think was going to have to be booming the damn ball, 55 and 60 yards at times down the field to try to flip the field, because that's not who he is. So that's why another reason that in reality his job is probably very safe, because he's probably doing what they wanted him to do and what he was brought in to do.
Yeah, Goodberry mentioned, I think he's fourth. He's ranked fourth best in the NFL.
Yeah, it probably was Joe that I see that from.
Yeah, and he was talking about how, he's doing what we brought, like you said, what we brought him in here to do. We're just not giving him those, on the 60 or not 60 shit, on the 40-yard line, the opposing 40-yard, those spots where he can just
if we
corner or whatever.
If we have it on the opposing team's 40, I'm kicking a field goal. We're going for it every time.
Or 40. My bad.
Yeah. I don't know, but so now we're to Money Mac. He missed the first one, 56, plenty of leg. He just kind of hooked it, but then continued to make 4. But that one scared the hell out of me. He donked that one it was the third of the 4.
Yeah.
But he hit from 49. 53, 48, and then the last one was 54. 4 for 5 on field goals. So I know Greg's been dying to talk about Money Mac this whole episode. So, Greg, how hard did Money Mac make you last night with his kicking performance?
So I wrote down notes. I mean, listen to this, man. He hit from 49, 53, 48 into clincher of 54 yards.
I just said that.
He did just say all that.
Yeah, I know. But I'm going to say it again, damn it, because I wrote down my freaking notes.
Hell yeah, Greg. Say it again. Say it with your chest, baby.
49, 53, 48, 54 clincher. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I'll say it again, man. I wrote down notes, man, during work. So come on.
I agree.
You're stealing my notes here.
Hey, you can say whatever the hell you want, Greg.
Right.
Like I said, man, I mean, dude, if he missed that kick, that could be a huge momentum change. I was like doing this a little bit, but I mean, god dang it, man, I'm so glad we got Money Mac. Point blank.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
saying that 54-yarder too, they had I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that 54-yarder, I was listening to Horty on the way home, listening to it, and he said that it was either a bad snap or a low snap. I can't remember exactly what he said, but for him to still be able to kick that ball and like you said, it goes right straight through.
I didn't hear that, so I'm nervous in hindsight. But no, I was going to say that there was a report before the game. You guys were all at the game that he was kicked one from 65 down the middle. So he had plenty of leg last night for kicking the ball. It's just he hooked one and then one doinked off. A little nerve-wracking, but hey, 4 for 5 and all basically from 50 or more. I mean, 48, 49, basically 50. So, and big performance from Money Mac. So you love to see it. Should we go back and get Derek's offensive and defensive?
Yeah.
Since he missed that. We've already went through all the stats and everything, Derek, but let's get your offensive player of the game, your game ball.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to be a little controversial here for my offensive. And I'm going to say Joe Burrow for toughing it out.
No, that's
balls. We didn't get one.
Yeah.
Why not?
He didn't necessarily look the greatest. He definitely looked a little off, if I'm being perfectly honest. But just to like Jamar Chase said, to have the cojones to tough it out and go out there. So Joe Burrow, you get my game ball.
Oh, that's nice of you.
No, Derek. Hey,
Like my round
Derek.
of applause.
To quote Jerry Lee Lewis, great balls of fire.
Yeah, goodness gracious.
Yep.
And then
And what about on the defense, Derek?
Dale, why don't you go ahead and tell them who I think my defensive player of the week goes to?
You're probably going to go with pork chop, and you're going to say Dax.
The guy that I wanted.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it was already taken? Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, Dax Hill. And apparently he was graded like the second worst defender.
Yeah,
but
fuck that.
Oh, my
when
God.
you're watching it, I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. I mean, he looked phenomenal last night.
Yeah. Yes, he did. Well, did he get the first sack? Was he the first one?
Reader.
No.
Was it Reader?
Oh, Reader was the first one, yeah. Man, it was good to see Reader get that sack too, wasn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What day it was? So Derek, before you came on, I would every show I was on, I was kind of like, coming at the D line. I'm like, I bet to myself, they all printed a picture of me in their locker or something, and they're all just like they probably pictured me like the water boy and all that. And Stafford was me, like literally, and I was talking trash to them, and that. And you know what? I'm glad I was that person because that
Greg sucks. Greg.
He really sucks.
But no, seriously, the defensive line finally woke. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, hey, Greg, I owe you a stadium beer, my brother.
What do you mean?
He won't get one anyways. I gave him money for one.
No, what do you owe me a stadium beer for, Derek?
Because I bet you that Jamar Chase would have at least 70 yards and a tutty on two receptions. He had 70 yards and a tutty, or 70 yards on 2 receptions, but he didn't get that tutty.
So okay, well, that's cool, man. Thank you. Well, thank you very much.
But you have to. I'm going to make stipulations like you do, though, because you're going to have to come down to 158 to get that.
All right, you know what? I'll do you one even better. I'll carry. I don't know if it's considered a weapon, but I'll carry a corkscrew and I'll chug a beer to show as evidence.
Corkscrew. You can't take a corkscrew into the stadium. Come on now.
Damn it! I thought I could.
He might be able to stick it up his ass.
Yeah,
there you go. Put it in your prison pocket.
No, it's like Carter. Remember when that episode of South Park where Carter went to prison and he had to put the cigarettes up his ass and all that, and he had to crap them in the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sick. No, I didn't see that one.
I didn't see that one either.
Then he
Stuffed a
flushed
bunch
it.
of cigarettes in his ass.
Then he flushed it. He didn't mean to flush it, but he's like, "You're so used to crapping and you flushed. You're just used to doing it that way." No, Rob, stop it! I will not pocket the money. My boss is just trolling
That's
me.
exactly what he does, Rob.
That's exactly what he did with Dale's
Rob,
money.
Dude, you guys, he's my boss. I love him. Don't listen to a word he says. He has nothing to gain by anything he says.
Well, Dale didn't make that bet with you. He said, "Hey, I'll bet you a few gallons of gas, Greg."
Yeah.
What?
You certainly took the money and bought gasoline with it.
Oh yeah.
I didn't sniff any gas.
At least bought a hooker.
Well, no, I did.
$12 hooker.
Yeah.
I did actually go get gas today at work, but
Venmo him that money, Derek. That way he can get some more gasoline.
yeah.
Derek,
Well,
what are your
stadium
thoughts? Oh, he's muted, but what are your thoughts on the O-line if you're still here available?
Yeah, I thought I just had to roll the windows down. I'm in the old Highlander right now with no AC, so.
Man, that's dedication right there.
Absolutely. I just pause for a few seconds, roll the windows down, get some air, then roll them back up and unmute my mic. Just like Joe Burrow, man, I got the balls. I'm toughing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
sounds
Joe.
like you
That
got
is
some
exactly you
balls.
and Joe Burrow exactly the same. That's what I was thinking, Derek.
Hey, that's
hard-
what, I mean, I already said you and I got the mind meld of Burrow and Chase, so I guess
There you
I'm
go.
Burrow in that situation.
Yeah, I'm Chase. I'm just
No, I thought the O-line played great.
Yes.
I think that what they say, there was 6 quarterback hits, 2 sacks. I mean, I'll honestly, when it comes to the last couple years, I'll take that every day.
exactly. I think it's like what 5 total through 3 games. Man, come on, that was a half sometimes.
Man,
Yeah.
Stanford got it 6 times last night, and it would have been more than 6, but some of them were called back because of penalties.
I'm
We had
doubling
a-
Orlando
we had a-
Browns. Go ahead, Derek.
We had a game 2 years ago that had more sacks than that.
Exactly.
Yes. I'm doubling Orlando Brown's pay is what I was gonna say. Man, that guy's been worth every freaking penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's awesome off the field. He's just a fun-loving dude. Pork chop's best friend.
Exactly.
Yep.
But the dude is getting it done. He's another one like Dax. Didn't grade out well, but holy shit, he played phenomenal in my opinion, and he has for 3 straight games against some damn good pass rushers. You know, especially for the Browns and the Ravens.
I'm sorry, but 5 sacks we given up in 3 games, and the defenders we went up against. I mean, the offensive line compared. I mean, we're so used to seeing at least 6 sacks a game for Joe Burrow. I mean, we're doing a damn good job. I know we're not perfect, but I think Parker was even talking about it. He said they're on the right track. I mean, are they perfect right now? No, but they're on the right track.
But they deserve so much praise after that. We've hated on them, and there's been a weak link here for the last couple of years, especially come crunch time of the playoffs, the Super Bowl, this, that, and the other with the injuries. Man, just knock on wood, everybody. Let's hope they stay healthy because damn, they're looking good. I know Bolson's not looked great, and I criticized him earlier. But at the end of the day, if you got one weak link out of 5, you can hopefully, hide that a little bit better and, plan around that more. But having the tackles is huge, So shout out the O-line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, I want to read Justin's comment here. It says, outside limitation of Burrow's injury, what is really hurting this offense? We're last in EPA like every category. What are we seeing? He's asking us what we're seeing. But I think a lot of it is a calf injury.
It's that, Dustin.
That's it.
Yeah, I think.
You're talking about a guy who's 70 to 80% accuracy in every game. Now is 50 to 60% accuracy in every game.
And statistically, the first 2 games were such shit. It's going to take a pile of good games to get the EPA back up.
Yep. And they shout out to Paul Daniel on this stat because what was it last 2 years, Joe Burrow averaged 50% completion rate on throws 20 yards or more. And this year, so far through 3 games, he's 2 for 20. So
it's huge. That stat.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I said. Like throwing it down the field, he doesn't have the accuracy that he normally has. And so it's probably that calf because he can't push off of it like he normally does.
How many of those out routes that he would throw and Chase would get his feet down? We saw some of them, but when you're needing 19 yards on a pickup and he just sells it completely out of bounds, not even close. Like it's like he wasn't even trying. He don't want to even put it close because he's not. He knows that he can't plant and he's not fully healthy. So instead of forcing something and causing a turnover, he's just throwing those away. When in the past he would put it there, right on the money for those guys. So it is causing a huge difference in our entire offense.
Well, and you've seen the one play when he actually uses and picks it, because I think he can do it. He just doesn't want to do it often. That one 3rd down play to Jamar Chase, I think it was 3rd down, where he throws it behind him where only he could catch it. That had the zip, that had the accuracy, that had everything that Joe Burrow is known for. And that right there just shows you that it is nothing but the calf that is limiting him right now.
I thought that was a terrible throw when I was watching that. And even on the replay, that should have been an interception. Jamar just made a phenomenal play.
Right.
Yeah.
My boss, actually, Rob was talking to me about this today at work. Apparently, the trainers had a mechanical compression sleeve on Burrow's calf every time he was on the sidelines. Immediately, when he walked over, they immediately were treating it. So thank God for that. Just keep treating it. Like I said, no setbacks or no anything for that.
I watched the game after I came home. I watched it on the television.
Yeah, but I want to point something out with the Rams coaching. If I'm a Rams fan, I would have been so pissed off. Less than 6 minutes left in the game. You only have 1 timeout. You're down by 2 scores. I know they were deep in their own territory, but it was 4th and 5. I mean, were you guys surprised they punted? If I was the Rams, I would have gone for it.
I think there was more time than that.
Okay, more time. I thought it was like 6 or 7 minutes.
7 or 8 minutes. 7 minutes and something, I think.
Still, man, I would have gone for it if I was the Rams, man, with 1 timeout left. I mean.
Well, where were they at on the field? It wasn't like they had great field position.
No, their field position was not great. It was like the 30, the 20, somewhere between going to say 25 or 40 yard line, somewhere around there, I think.
And they hadn't picked up a third down even that entire game to that point, I believe.
That is true. That and there was another play. Remember when we kicked off and the guy, the returner fair catched it like at the 10-yard line. I'm like, what are you doing right there? I didn't get that either.
Okay. I thought that was I thought with the new rules that you could fair catch that and then it still goes out to the 25. I don't remember exactly how those rules go, but
that didn't happen.
I thought that was the rules. Was it a kickoff or a punt return? I can't remember.
It was a kickoff.
On a kickoff, you can fair catch now. And it goes to the 25.
Here's
I
where
thought
we
it
all,
was in the end. Okay, let's show it.
This is where we all say "fuck you, Kelly." Ready? Fuck you, Kelly.
Fuck you, Kelly.
There you go.
They fucked him over on his parlay. I told him don't fucking bet against Joe Burrow, Kelly. It ain't like Kenny Pickett where you can count on his ass to lose with his tiny fucking hands. Not him. We don't have Kenny Pickett for our quarterback.
This is back to Chop hating on Steelers fan that he works with.
Right,
Tyler
motherfucker.
Kelly.
We got Joe fucking Burrow.
But Port Chop and Miro, I want to ask you guys this question. I mean, first of all, the atmosphere there before the game was just totally awesome. What percent of the fans would you say were wearing? Well, I mean, I know the Rams fans. Wouldn't you at least say 95% of the fans were wearing white?
90. The first whiteout game was more white than this one.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
90.
Yeah,
I would say 90. I'd say the first time it was 95 or over.
Shout
This
out to
time
the Rams
probably more like 85, if you ask me honestly.
Yeah.
What's that, Arrow?
Shout out to all the Rams fans that got the memo too. I said shout out to all the Rams fans out there that got the memo as well, because there was a bunch of white Rams jerseys out there too.
I didn't see any of those. I saw the blue ones.
I saw the blue ones, but yeah, I saw that Travis Kelce jersey at the game. I'm like, why? Yeah.
Taylor Swift. That's why.
Taylor Swift, yeah.
Are we supposed to talk about? Is it mandatory that you have to talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift if you do any kind of sports show?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think it is.
Well, does that count, or do we have to have a whole segment?
No.
And we
just
talked
say
about
this,
it.
I would think Kelsey could pull in a better piece of tail than that. I understand she's popular and she got all that money, but there's better looking women out there.
You're going.
I mean, if you're Travis Kelce,
his name Pork Chop 1970 at Pork Chop 1972 on Twitter, Swifties. I know a bunch of you watch Bengals and Brews. I don't care if they watch Bengals and Brews. Somehow that will get to the Swifties because they're.
I felt bad for Travis.
I'm not going to say it because I don't want to attack. You're great
people. I felt bad for his mom because I thought she was in that suite, like she's all chilling and fucking Taylor and her Swifties are all going crazy, and she's probably sitting there. She's an older lady. She's probably like, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. But how do you tell Taylor?
He says that
I like. Look, guys, I like
Taylor Anthony's Swift. Saying that, not me. Anthony's saying that.
I like Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift. So that's.
Hey, shout out James Rapine.
Clapping some famous cheeks. Can't even hate on it.
James Rapine's a Swiftie now, Chop. You got to be careful.
Yep.
No, I know he is. James Rapine's like not just a Swiftie. He likes some weird ass music, man.
You can read this one, Chop, for the Swifties.
I saw a great meme that said Kelsey gets sixes on and off the field.
And then Jolly says she could do better. His stash is gross.
Yeah.
And then Rob, Greg's boss, he would tap it.
I'm not saying I wouldn't hit it. I'm just saying that. I mean, I guess the standard to me is Giselle because Giselle's like top 10 hottest fucking women in the entire planet.
So the jersey sales are really up 400%.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me.
Tyler said it, and so
it's
did Dean.
Motherfucking Kelly saying that shit. Don't believe it.
But Dean,
it wouldn't surprise me
it too.
I'm just saying it would not surprise me.
All the Swifties are buying up the Travis Kelce jerseys.
That would not surprise me.
What about Carrie Underwood? Who would you rather, Carrie Underwood or Taylor Swift?
I don't know what Carrie Underwood looks like. I don't listen to all that shit.
Jesus Christ. She's done the fucking
opening. Are you serious, Pork Chop?
She does the opening for the
football? There we go.
Sunday night or whatever.
Her.
Yeah.
I will say over Taylor Swift.
I will say this though, Carrie Underwood is against hunting, so that's a major knock on me for me.
She don't like chewing tobacco.
Yeah, but you bought your wife those expensive ass tickets. You do support Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
No.
I did. Hey, listen, I did. Oh, damn it! I
Listen.
don't have any beer to take a drink. I didn't buy that. That was her own money.
Chop. There we go. There we go,
Give me
Rob.
your address and I'll send her some of them burrow panties.
There we go.
She can't have him. We don't want those distractions. Burrow, he's still with the same girl he's been with since Ohio State.
Stranger for a one nighter, yeah. Over Carrie Underwood, I'll take them both, and I'll wear my Chad Johnson mohawk while I'm doing it. Them both.
Hey, real quick, did you guys, going back to Dustin's comment a little bit, did you guys already discuss the penalties at all?
No, we did not.
No, that's
Penalties.
the first. So bitch about it, rant about it, Derek. Tell him it's fucking bullshit, and we can't have this shit no more.
I was
Whose
just going
comment
to
is
say,
he talking about?
Dustin's comment back when he was asking, are there anything that you would be worried about? That was one thing that I was.
So you don't have the camera on because you're driving, but you're reading the comments.
No.
Anything with the offense. What else is affecting the offense besides Burrow's?
Oh, yeah.
Derek's saying penalties.
Right.
That's right there in the podcasting business is what you call a callback.
Yeah.
But
in the two with the false starts in a row, that was pretty shitty. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Rant.
I think the penalties definitely affected the game, and I'll say this: you want to hear me rant? Quit fucking booing our
no
own
shit.
team.
Yes.
Gosh, there is nothing that gets me angrier than people booing the team, because when they had those two false start penalties, and then they decided to wait and hold the ball, and then just they I forget, was it that? I can't remember now if it was that time, but and then they decided just to kick the ball to finish the quarter or finish the half. You know, there were people that was booing them off the field. Like, come the fuck on, man.
Yes.
What are they going to do?
Well, especially, at the end of the
shot at the end zone.
At the end of the game, Derek, when they ran the clock down before they took that final timeout or spiked the ball or whatever, so they could kick the field goal that put us to 3 points ahead. People around me were all like, "What the fuck are they doing? Go for it, go or spike the ball, spike the ball, spike the ball." I'm like, the fuck you get out of spiking the ball, man? They're playing it smart. They're running the clock down. They're going to kick a field goal, What the fuck? They're running the time off the clock. Or when they were running the ball to knock time off, Everybody's like, take a shot. Like, why would you do that?
Exactly. You want to give Stafford more time? Go right ahead. But that is not the right thing to do, in my opinion. When they got behind the 8 ball because of the penalty, I completely understood just running it because at that point, you're already behind schedule, so you might as well run as much clock off as you can.
Yeah. Casual fans. But that's okay because I love the casual fans. They come in there and help us pack that stadium and make some noise. I mean, they made a lot of noise. They just made too much noise when it went to the booing. I'm not a fan. Like I told the guy that sits next to me and John, I said, what the fuck is everybody booing for? I'm like, I hate the booing when they're coming off the field. Like, come on, man. I hate the booing.
Now, there's sometimes I feel like people will be booing the refs they're booing the refs or they're booing something else, and everyone just is like, oh, they're booing the players. Because to me, those penalties, were very, very, they did move. Like you guys were asking, and I was watching on TV. They did move on the replay, but they were so minimal movement, so ticky-tacky calls that I think the fans were probably, I'm just guessing, booing the referees and those calls more than the players.
Right.
Which, that happens.
Well,
I'll boo the fuck out of some referees. I'll boo the fuck out of some referees.
Last night, I felt like they were booing the players, though, when they were booing. That's what I felt like.
When we was going in the half, they were definitely booing the players off the field, and I did not like that one bit.
Yeah, we've seen that before too, and it's like, man, I don't like that either. I agree.
Yeah, but I will say this though, I was definitely it was really, really awesome the energy last night, and then we got quiet on offense, I'm telling you, we got quiet. You remember that?
Yes.
I hate bringing it back to this, but you remember the Bills game when all that shit went down and it was deathly quiet in that stadium? That's almost how quiet it was when we were on offense.
Derek, I will 100% agree with you. That stadium was quiet when we were on offense. I will agree with you on that.
And I even told Sarah when we were talking about the game on the way home. I said, you know what's crazy is we were sitting up in that seat, and I could hear Burrow say "hut." Like, I don't ever remember being able to do that sitting inside the stadium.
Greg, you got to do the camera and the microphone for a sneeze.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, to be fair.
That's true.
All right, so we got Tennessee Sunday, 1 o'clock in Tennessee on the road. I watched some of the Browns-Tennessee game, and Tennessee did not look good in that game. Now, he did it again. Did the same
microphone,
thing.
Greg.
He did the same thing. He did.
Damn, Matt Stafford.
What are you doing, Matt Stafford?
What are you doing, Matt Stafford?
Why are you Matt Stafford?
Wait, whoa, I didn't even notice.
He said that everybody pretended like he was Matt Stafford getting ready for the game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Punching on him.
That's fair.
He's Matt Stafford.
So if a woman falls off the stage, you're just going to turn around and be like, oh, I didn't see nothing.
Right, exactly.
That's what Matt Stafford does. But anyways, so Tennessee did not look great. Once again, I was telling Chop before the show started. He's like, damn, if we could just get that much pressure every time. I'm like, well, we didn't face a mobile quarterback. Tannehill has a little mobility, but he doesn't use it a lot. He's more wants to stay in the pocket. He's not Deshaun Watson. He's certainly not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, that guy, with freaking unreal running the ball. So I don't see any reason we can't tee off on these guys. Hopkins still looks like he has something left for Tennessee. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, it's like, has he done much this season? But that almost scares me to even say that out loud because we've held him in check. Yeah. He'll eventually have a good game. Tajay Spears, that we all love from Tulane, in the draft, he's been playing really well for them. So they have 2 running backs, and then Traylon Burks. I haven't seen him do a lot, but their line. Skoronski was out last week. I don't know if he'll be healthy this week. But their line, I really feel like their line is weak. Like, I'll just say some of the names of their line: Andre Dillard, Skoronski, who was out, Aaron Brewer, Daniel Brunskill, and Chris Hubbard. Do you guys even know any of those motherfuckers? Hardly?
I just know Skoronski because we so much in the draft this year.
Right, but he was out. He was first round
Is he
pick.
going to be out for this week too?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't seen anything. I don't know what his injury was. But holy hell, that's their starting offensive line. And you just saw what this defensive line was able to do getting after. So just an early look at the game, because we'll get into this more, especially on Friday. Thursday, we're going to have Corey Dillon, by the way. So that'll be interesting to listen to Chop say, hey, I fucking hated you, but now I kind of like you. So that's going to be awkward and fun and weird all at the same time. But anyways, so Tennessee, little preview. What do you guys think about their offense and their offensive line? And what are you looking forward to from our defensive line potentially?
I'm hoping our defensive line picks it up just where they left it off.
Absolutely.
Go in there and just 4 quarters of fucking smash mouth in your face. Ryan Tannehill scared as shit.
Fuck him in the
I
ass.
don't know. Dude, I want to hear that what's that little clicking sound when the face changes on Waterboy? That's what I want to see doing with me still and all that. Just keep. I'm Matthew Stafford. This time I'll be Ryan Tannehill.
You're Ryan Tannehill.
Yep.
Future Ryan Tannehill. Well, on Friday's show. Ryan Tannehill on Friday's show.
Exactly.
Yeah, Friday's show, you're Ryan Tannehill.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, does that line, even if Skoronski plays, holy hell, there's definitely some weaknesses on that offensive line. We got Hubbard, Hendrickson alone, this beast, he's played well all season. Osai, Derek saw the snaps. He only got Derek, I don't know if you're still with us, but he got 5 snaps or something.
Yeah, played 6% of snaps. I think what it ended up being.
6% total, whatever the number was,
Yeah.
7 snaps or something. I don't know.
Look at this
Yeah.
Charles Zard.
Without Osai, man, 6 sacks. Osai, if he's feeling better and gets a little more playing time, keeps everybody fresh. Go ahead, Chop.
And DJ and BJ are going to butter them biscuits from Charles Zard, who is most likely not Santori.
Hey, Dale, you missed the milk shots at the game yesterday.
Smoking big
Ugh.
doinks and Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Santori brought a gallon of milk, and they're all standing there doing milk shots.
Yep.
And Santori, Bengals' dad's like, give me another shot of that milk. I'm like, what the fuck? Santori's like, you want some milk? I don't want any milk. I'm okay. And then after the game, they pulled the milk back out. Santori and Ashley.
That's
Pulled the
like
milk
Greg. That's like a Greg wet dream.
That's
I
I
know.
was just about to say that. Yep.
Oh, I know, right?
I'd already given
you
Greg
guys
a
got some
Coke
milk?
Zero, so. What'd you say, Derek?
I said Greg was probably like, "Oh, you guys got some milk?"
Fuck
yeah,
he
it
was
was.
like, ooh, hurry,
Yeah.
get that milk out. I'm thirsty as fuck.
Hell to the fuck
It's
yeah.
hot,
it
though. I
was.
need some of
I'm
that
so
milk.
hot.
Give me some of that lactose.
Yeah,
I'm so hot, man. Does somebody got a big gulp of milk?
exactly.
I wake up in the middle of the night and I chug some milk. Like,
You got one of them 72-ounce milks?
No, I usually
I'm
buy them
hot,
in quarts.
thirsty.
I buy them in quarts.
Yeah. Fuck them Polar Pop. I need me some milk.
Yeah, I think this, dude, because he's not going to have 2 off weeks like that in a row. T going to ball out in Tennessee, Ronald says here for the
plus-
podcast listeners.
Hey, plus Burrow, he gave that game to Jamar because in his press conference he was like talking about how he had off the field talks with Jamar and he was frustrated and he said, "I got you this game, so I'll bet you next game he's got B to get them all back on track."
Yeah, but T still had 8 targets. He just had an
Yes.
off night,
Right.
really.
So Dale, we did see T walk off or walk back into the locker room. Did anybody have any updates on that or?
Cramps. They said cramps.
Okay.
I said it was because he was hanging out with Chad the day before.
Yeah.
Too much fucking McDonald's.
When he actually went in the locker room, I said maybe and I was being serious, like maybe he's changing his gloves because he wore the white gloves because all white, and uncharacteristically he had those drops. So I thought maybe he actually went and was changing his gloves. I guess he would have just had somebody run gloves out to him, though. Really, right?
No,
if that was it.
Now,
He is from Tennessee.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to be the guy to say it. Are we worried at all that this is a Jesse Bates situation?
Huh?
I'm not too worried.
T? Oh, if we're
yeah,
with T.
I hate talking contracts.
No, we're not talking contracts.
I'm so far away from thinking that I had to sit here and think of what the hell you're talking about with Jesse Bates. No.
I usually shut that down, Derek. On the
Yes,
show.
Well, like I said, I hate to bring it up, but it is a thing that's going to be talked about. Is T in his own head right now?
No. Nope.
I mean,
right.
from that standpoint, I can understand why you would bring it up. I'm gonna say no for now. Let's see this one.
See what happens.
He played so well against the Ravens. Like,
He
Yeah.
did. He really did.
if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even been close in that game.
I mean, that would be. Oh, you like his concentration was so off.
Yeah, that's
No.
all I was talking about because it was the first half of the year, the Super Bowl run. Jesse had even said like, this whole
He
contract
did.
situation.
That was the year. Yeah, that was the year before. Once he knew he was on the franchise, and that was basically they had drafted Dax. He just knew he was playing out 1 year, and he just played and wanted to try to win.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because he needed to get a job somewhere else.
Sorry.
Turned out to be Atlanta.
Sorry, I didn't mean. I should have been more clear about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope not. T man, he loves it here.
And Mama don't play like that. She ain't gonna let him. She's gonna be on his ass. And this is what I said last night. Is I said, man, I'll bet you that Mama T's Twitter is fucking going off tonight. Because she's going to be on there defending her boy. People talk shit. And somebody did. Some unnamed person got on there and talked some shit. And she smacked the fuck out of him with the verbal. Like, she was pissed.
Yeah.
You guys know
yeah.
who I'm talking about, right?
I don't know
wouldn't
who it
wanna
was,
make-
but
I wouldn't want to make Mama T mad. That's all I know.
Let's just say Mama T might come over to our tailgate now, visit us. Somebody might have pissed her off at the other one.
oh no.
Eh.
What
Hey,
the
Mama
fuck,
T
man?
lot 1's always open.
I
Yeah,
want
we're
to be
just
not
no
on
one
here
on the
too.
screen.
I thought
Carol
we were all
says,
being not on the screen.
don't care. Yeah, none of us care for T's agent, Carol. Got to agree with that. David Mulligetta, I mean,
Yeah.
but that's his job. Like, and I mean, he got Bates paid, and Bates is balling out. Like, and that's the thing. Good players are going to play good wherever they go, and they're going to hope to lift teams.
There we go.
Stop it, Ronald. You're acting like pork chop now.
That's what's happening, man. Like
Hey.
Justin Jefferson hasn't signed out there because he's waiting for the offseason. Let him test the market, and we're going to have the boys back. The championship trio.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're
guys.
going to have two $200 million receivers
Yes.
or
We
whatever. It's
No.
not gonna be that much.
No, in my mind, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson split $55 million a year right down the middle.
Oh yeah, because they just don't care about money.
Well, they want to play with each other, and they're all millionaires, and so they're happy.
You want to play with me, but if I had a chance at $55 million on my own, I'm sorry.
Man, ain't nobody paying a wide receiver $55 million a year.
What do you think? What do you think he's supposed to get? Like what? 40?
Justin Jefferson will probably get 20, close to 30, a little over 30.
at
No,
least
Justin
30.
Jefferson will probably get about 31, 32.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll be taking a cut.
Yeah.
He'll be taking,
He don't want to leave Kirk Cousins, Derek's favorite quarterback.
that's all smoke and mirrors, boys. Smoke and
Hey, you're
mirrors.
talking about the defeated. I can't say undefeated because
Well, you can't
number
say
one
anything now. You
QB
fucking
in
went out of
fantasy right
range.
now, Kirk Cousins. All right.
Yeah.
He was number 2 on ESPN.
Hey guys, I got to head off now.
Oh,
I
is he
got to.
number 2 now.
Hey guys, I got to head off though. I got
You
another
gotta-
show I got to do here soon. So
Oh yeah, I don't even care about this show. I gotta head off here and do other shows.
Yeah, guys, I got to do
All
my
right, yeah.
I got to do
Oh,
my
sorry.
show that's not my show.
Sorry, I forgot Greg has some
I know.
shows.
I know that I'm a co-host on this show, but I got to go on a show that I'm not. I got priorities, man, and you guys
Yeah.
ain't them.
I try
Man,
to please
commit hot dog
everybody.
streak.
I got to try to please everybody. Sorry guys.
Just go then.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Just
Find that
go
Stanford.
with your other man.
Find
Go.
that Stanford. Yeah.
Love you guys.
Love you, Greg. What a whore.
Love you, Bob.
Yeah.
Dirty whore.
That other show doesn't start for fucking about an hour, 45 minutes. He needs to get
Gotta
rested
eat
up.
like pregame cake.
Yeah,
And
he's got.
He
He's
didn't.
got
Yeah.
he's gotta eat pregame ass.
Yeah. And his boss says he's an ass kisser.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an ass kisser.
Well, you probably should end this
Yeah.
Chop. You going to work?
I do
today?
have to get a shower.
Tennessee Titans,
Yeah,
baby.
Yeah, we'll
We own
review
them
that
down
more.
there.
Anybody in the chat making the trip?
I don't know.
Not
I'd be
Santori.
interested to see how many people are
This
making
guy,
the
this
trip.
guy's
Yeah.
making the trip.
Is he not?
This guy's going.
You are?
No, I'm not going, but this guy who's not Santori,
Oh.
he's
How many-
going.
Okay.
How many burners does Santori have?
I don't know. He just must figure out a way to switch his name up every time he comes
How do you
on
know
here.
that's Santori?
Come on, man. Because I mean, it's just Santori shit. Like here,
He had a different burner on here before.
Greg Guslin, nothing but Yoo-Hoo, DJ. This. I mean, just read this stuff and picture Santori. Uday large men, pork chop smoking big doinks and Amish. Santori.
I will say though, Santori's fit last night was pretty elite. Those pants he had on were
Code for me needs my Milkies. Come on, man. It's Santori. I'm just surprised that my freaking brain dead ass picked up on it.
Yeah, nothing gets
True.
past you anymore, Chop.
Just
Oh,
think
lots
of
of
the
things
viewers
get
we can
past me,
have.
man.
If Santori just logged in with all of his different accounts, we could like hit some real high views.
I know.
Yeah.
We need all Santori's accounts to like
All his burners.
and subscribe to Bengals and Brews.
Yeah, all 72
See-
of them.
Our secret is 25 of our 30 viewers are just Santori.
Can't confirm I'm not Santori, but it sounds like we need
Exactly
to
what
friends.
Santori would say.
Yeah, that's
Right. Yeah.
sounds like what Santori would say.
Shut up over there, Charles. You're Santori.
Charles Santori.
Right.
All right. Well, good show. The Bengals got their first win, man. I'm so excited for that win. It feels much better. Everything today was just a little nicer, after
It feels
a win.
fucking great, man.
Feels so
It
good.
feels great.
And hopefully we string
Yeah.
some off here.
Now it's time
Tennessee,
to fuck you, Tennessee.
up yours. Up yours.
Fuck you, Nissan.
Up yours. Fucking
Up yours, Tennessee.
Yeah. Fuck you, Tennessee. Right up yours, motherfucker.
So, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to hopefully get another win this week, be 2-2. Let Burrow's calf keep resting up. Defense got to bring it again. That's going to be a big key. But Thursday will be our next show, so we will not be back tomorrow.
Why we having
We'll be
one on
back.
Thursday, Dale?
We'll be on Thursday, so you can tell Corey Dillon how much you love him. You didn't love
that
him. You didn't love him for throwing his
Nope.
pads in the stands.
Didn't.
And you were mean about it. And then
We
you
made
watched
up.
him on Jeff's show all these times.
Yeah. I
And you
watched
said,
that show.
you know what? We should have Corey Dillon on. I want to tell him that now I love him.
I watched him on Sports with Greg, Big Savage Greg.
You
Sports
want to
with
be
Big
one of
Savage
Dillon's dudes.
Greg. Yeah, I'm a Dylan dude. I'm a Dylan dude.
Jeff put that on his thing, and then Greg apparently come up with that name. They're having Corey Dillon on Jeff's show today, by the way. The Sports with Strawberry Ice.
Yep.
And Dylan's dudes. And I said, man, that name sounds super gay. And then Greg was like, well, I'll come up with that name. I'm like, Greg, I'm sorry. I love you, but that still sounds super gay.
Right?
I mean, we don't have nothing against gays, obviously.
So,
Talk
Right.
about this.
yeah.
But
Huh.
that still
So
sounds.
everybody, please tune in to Sports with Savage Greg
Sports with Savage Greg
and watch Savage Greg go
with Dylan's
all-
dudes.
No, it's Corey Dillon and Dylan's dudes.
Corey Dillon and
Yeah.
Dylan's dudes on Sports with Big Savage Greg.
I'm not calling us Dylan's dudes when we have him on Thursday.
No.
It's not Corey Dillon's and Dylan's dudes. Derek, you're not going to be on. What should we ask Corey Dillon on Thursday from you?
From me?
Mhm.
No, that's probably a sore subject. I was going to say ask him what it was like to share a backfield with Rudy, but
Oh man.
Jesus
You're shooting for one show only. right?
Notice how he knew he wasn't going to be on here, so he's like, this would be a good one.
Yeah,
If he's
right.
on here,
Rudy
no
was
way
my-
you're asking him
Man.
that question.
Rudy was my boy back in the day, man. That's what got me liking the Bengals was Rudy Johnson.
I know, but that's also what got Corey Dillon wanting to go to another team.
That's why he threw his pads in the stands.
Yeah, maybe.
So
not
what
bring
was it
that.
like when Rudy kind of took your job? Like,
Yeah.
how'd that make you feel?
Yeah. Describe your emotions at the point where they decided Rudy was a better choice than you.
Yeah. How did it feel
No,
that a guy named Rudy Johnson was better than you?
I know. Honestly, ask him about playing for Bill Belichick because I want to know, like, see if we can get some deep dark secrets on old Uncle Bill.
On the hoodie.
Yeah.
I just want drinking stories. Like who was the big time partier?
Oh yeah. That
Who
was
fucked
dope.
a lot?
Right.
Oh, you know that was Ocho.
Who got the most poontang?
Ocho, without a doubt.
And why was it Carl Pickens?
Hey, back
Yeah.
in Corey Dillon's day, I used to pull a lot of poontang too.
Me too.
What about you, Dale? Back in Corey Dillon's day,
I don't know. Probably like
I was
Oh.
what? 2003. I would have been 11, 12 maybe. I don't know. It's hard to look back that.
Here's one from our buddy KBR. Ask how drunk Darnay Scott was during the games.
haha.
He
That's
ain't
actually a
going
good
for-
question.
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like we
Maybe
need to
maybe
ask
he will. Maybe he will. But
Yep.
Be like, did Darnay Scott get drunk before the games? And did you know? Probably
We don't want to be the feds now. Like Mike Hilton says, we don't want to be the feds.
I don't have any questions for him. That's the thing. So you guys are going to have to come up with some questions. I don't have any questions. Like, hey,
My question is going to be
You're-
like, hey, remember how I didn't like
great
you?
running back.
Yeah, now I do. Thanks for coming on the show.
Okay, here's a great question. Ask him if he thinks Joe Mixon has a chance to break his record.
What record is it?
It's his rushing yards. I said, what is it, 8,300 or something like that?
I feel like these are all things we need to know.
Right before we better do a little research, right?
Are we going to have to
Shit.
actually look shit up?
I'm gonna look shit up tonight.
Fuck me.
I have to look some shit up.
Dude, we always
Anyway.
just wing it. Come on.
I got to get in the shower, fellers.
All right, man.